Okay, so have you ever built something so complex
Yeah.
that it feels like it should be like shooting lasers?
Right.
Today, we are diving into a world
Okay.
where that is practically the norm, optomechanical engineering.
All right.
You sent us some excerpts from RoleCatcher's career guide on this, so we're
Mhm.
going to go beyond,
Yeah.
lasers and telescopes to see what makes this field tick.
And it's really making those lasers and telescopes tick.
Really?
Yeah, think about it.
Okay.
A telescope mirror.
Mm-hmm.
It isn't just like chilling in space.
Right.
Even a slight temperature change,
Right.
the tiniest vibration that throws off everything.
Wow.
Optomechanical engineering is that bridge between
Okay.
building the optics
Mm-hmm.
and making sure they work flawlessly in the real world.
So it's like the difference between having
Yeah.
a high-end camera
Yep.
and actually knowing how to use it to take a stunning photo.
Right.
There's an art to both.
Absolutely.
But this is the side we rarely even consider.
Yeah. And RoleCatcher doesn't just hype it up as the next big thing.
Okay.
They've actually broken down a potential career path
Okay.
from junior engineer all the way to principal roles,
Wow.
even including profiles so you can imagine yourself at different stages.
Which is something I always find fascinating.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to say be an engineer.
Right.
But seeing those stepping stones, those
Yeah.
different levels of expertise,
Yeah.
makes it feel way more attainable.
And what's cool is how they highlight the practical side of it.
Okay.
Like, it's not enough to just ace your physics exams.
Yeah.
RoleCatcher emphasizes hands-on experience,
Okay.
internships, projects,
Yeah.
basically proving you can walk the walk,
Right.
not just talk the optics talk.
And speaking of walking the walk,
Yeah.
they seem to be big on helping you get noticed in the job market, too.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they have this whole thing about how registered companies
Mm-hmm.
can actually search for candidates with specific skills.
Wow.
Talk about cutting through the noise.
It's like having a personal headhunter,
Yeah.
but instead of them constantly asking for your updated resume,
Right.
RoleCatcher's AI is doing the work behind the scenes.
Okay.
Plus, they've got interview prep tools,
Hmm.
so you're not just prepped on the technical stuff,
Right.
but also how to present yourself.
Yeah.
Answer those curveball questions.
Yeah.
It's pretty comprehensive.
Okay, so we've got a sense of what this field is,
Ah.
why it's hot right now,
Yeah.
and even how RoleCatcher can help you break in.
Right.
But let's get into the nitty-gritty.
Okay.
What do optomechanical engineers actually do all day?
Well, imagine this.
Okay.
One day you're designing a complex optical system,
Mm-hmm.
maybe for a satellite.
Wow.
The next, you're running simulations.
Wait, hold up.
Yeah.
Simulations?
Yeah.
Like on a computer?
Uh-huh.
I thought this was all about building things in a lab.
Oh, it absolutely is.
Okay.
But simulations are a huge part of the process.
Okay.
You don't just build a telescope mirror and hope for the best.
Right.
These things are incredibly sensitive.
Oh, yeah.
So simulations help predict how they'll behave under different conditions.
Mm.
Make sure your design is actually sound before you start cutting expensive materials.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
I guess even with hands-on,
Right?
you want to minimize how many times you have to go back to the drawing board, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
And this is where RoleCatcher's guide gets into the core abilities,
Okay.
both the hard skills and
Yeah.
what some might find surprising,
Okay.
the soft skills.
Okay.
That-
I'm picturing hard skills
Oh,
as
yeah.
the equations, the software, the
Right.
technical stuff. But what are we even talking about with soft skills in this context?
Think about it.
Okay.
You're often working in teams,
Right.
collaborating with other engineers, maybe even presenting your designs to stakeholders
Mm-hmm.
who don't have the same technical background.
So being able to explain this super complex stuff
Yes.
in a way that doesn't make people's eyes glaze over.
That's a big part of it.
Right.
Communication is key, as is problem solving,
Yeah.
critical thinking,
Mm-hmm.
being able to adapt to new challenges.
Right.
RoleCatcher emphasizes that it's this blend of
Okay.
left brain, right brain thinking
Yeah.
that makes a really good optomechanical engineer.
Which makes sense.
Right.
You need that creative spark to come up with innovative solutions,
Yeah.
but also the analytical rigor
Absolutely.
to make sure those solutions actually work in the real world.
And this is where the knowledge and learning section of the guide really stood out to me.
Okay.
They're not just saying
Mhm.
get a degree and you're good.
Right.
They emphasize the importance of continuous learning,
Okay.
staying updated on industry trends,
Uh-huh.
even participating in professional organizations.
Right.
It's a constantly evolving field.
They basically call it a never-ending quest for knowledge.
Yes.
So even once you've landed that dream job,
Right.
the learning never stops.
Which, let's be real,
Yeah,
is part of the appeal.
totally.
Who wants a job where you learn everything in the first year
Right.
and then you're just repeating the same tasks for the next decade?
That's the opposite of what we're going for here.
Exactly.
So RoleCatcher highlights this need for constant learning.
Yes.
Do they actually offer ways to help with that?
Yeah.
Or is it more of a, hey, go figure it out kind of thing?
Oh, no. They're way more helpful than that.
Okay.
They actually link to relevant industry publications,
Yep.
organizations, even online forums where you can connect with other professionals.
So it's like they're giving you the textbook, the study group, and the cool professor's office hours
Right.
all in one platform.
Exactly.
Wow.
They even have resources for landing those all-important internships and projects we were talking about.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, experience is king.
Which brings us to the part everyone dreads the interview.
Oh, tell me about it.
Because even with all the knowledge and experience in the world,
Yeah.
if you can't articulate that in an interview,
Yeah.
it's game over.
But you guessed it.
Okay.
RoleCatcher swoops in to save the day.
Okay, they've officially piqued my interest.
Okay, good.
How do they tackle the interview beast?
They've got this section called Interview Prep,
Mm.
Questions to Expect.
Okay.
And it's gold.
Okay.
They break down common optomechanical engineer questions,
Mhm.
but they don't stop there.
Because anyone can Google interview questions.
Right.
It's about understanding what those questions are really
Like-
getting at right.
Exactly. They give you insights into what interviewers want to see in your answers.
Yeah.
It's not just about having the right technical knowledge.
Right.
It's about showing how you think, how you approach problems.
It's like they're teaching you how to speak fluent interviewer,
Yes.
decoding those secret signals.
Exactly.
Okay. And what about those dreaded behavioral questions?
Oh, yeah.
The ones that trip everyone up because there's no right answer.
Right.
Right.
They've got you covered.
Okay.
They walk you through how to answer questions about teamwork, leadership,
Yeah.
even those tricky situational questions.
Right.
Where they ask you how you'd handle like a hypothetical work crisis.
It's like they've interviewed the interviewers
Good.
to help you ace the interview.
Exactly.
But wait, there's more, isn't there?
Of course.
They wouldn't be RoleCatcher
Right.
if they didn't have some kind of AI-powered magic
Yeah.
up their sleeves.
They have this AI-powered interview practice tool
Oh, okay.
where you can record yourself answering questions
Mm-hmm.
and get feedback.
Okay, now that is next level.
Right.
So it's like having a virtual mock interview
Yeah.
where the AI analyzes your every word,
Uh-huh.
your tone,
Yeah.
maybe even tells you if you're fidgeting too much.
Pretty much.
Wow.
It's like having a personal interview coach available 24/7,
Yep.
but without the awkward small talk.
All right, so we've established that RoleCatcher is basically the fairy godparent
Right.
of aspiring optomechanical engineers.
I like that.
But before we dive into the specifics of their career path breakdown,
Okay.
because it is fascinating to see how one might climb that ladder,
Yeah.
let's take a quick breather.
Sound like a plan?
Definitely not. This
Can't
is
now.
the deep dive. We don't do breaks, we power through.
What's going
But seriously,
Okay.
take a second to absorb because we've covered a lot of ground
We have.
and there's even more to come. All right, so you've aced the interview.
Okay.
You are officially an optomechanical engineer.
All right.
What's next?
Well,
I'm picturing like you
yeah.
in a lab coat
Oh,
surrounded by lasers and robots.
Yeah.
But RoleCatcher's career path breakdown
yeah.
gets surprisingly specific
Yeah.
about the different stages of this journey.
And it's not just about the cool gadgets,
Right.
though I won't lie, those are a perk.
Of course.
RoleCatcher breaks it down into 4 main stages,
Okay.
starting with the junior optomechanical engineer.
Okay.
Think of it as your boot camp.
Boot camp, huh?
Yeah.
So less designing a telescope
Right.
and more learning the ropes from the seasoned pros.
Exactly.
Okay.
You're assisting on projects,
Mm-hmm.
absorbing everything like a sponge.
Right.
They'll have you doing things like
Okay.
researching to improve existing components,
Hmm.
maybe running simulations to test different designs.
These simulations again?
Yeah.
I thought once you're past the interview,
Right.
it's all hands-on in the lab.
Oh, simulations stick around.
Okay.
Trust me.
Okay.
They're crucial for testing ideas
Mhm.
before you build anything physical.
Right.
Imagine spending weeks building a prototype,
Right.
only to realize, like,
yeah.
a tiny design flaw throws everything off.
Oh, wow.
Simulations are like that safety net.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So as a junior engineer,
Yeah.
you're getting your hands dirty, but also learning how to use those digital tools to avoid costly mistakes.
Right.
What's next on this optomechanical ladder?
You climb a rung or two,
Okay.
and you become a full-fledged optomechanical engineer.
Okay.
This is where you start taking on more responsibility, maybe even leading small projects.
Okay, so less fetching coffee
Right.
and more calling the shots.
Exactly. You might find yourself designing entire systems. Wow. Conducting in-depth research to optimize performance. It's a step up in complexity and creative freedom.
And I'm guessing a step up in those late nights at the lab.
Let's just say deadlines have a way of becoming more frequent
Yeah.
and more intense the further you climb.
Right.
But hey, that's where the passion comes in, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you've conquered deadlines, designed groundbreaking systems.
Okay.
What's the next peak to conquer?
My friend,
Okay.
you're on your way to becoming a senior optomechanical engineer.
Right.
Now you're not just leading projects. You're mentoring junior engineers,
Okay.
solving those really complex problems that have everyone else stumped.
So you're basically the Yoda of optomechanics at this point.
I like that.
Wise experience,
What?
maybe with a slightly quirky sense of humor.
A little humor goes a long way in this field,
Right.
especially when you're dealing with those high-pressure situations.
Right.
But in all seriousness,
Yeah.
the senior engineer is a respected voice, someone who's seen it all and lived to tell the tale.
I'm starting to see a pattern here.
Okay.
It's not just about the technical skills, it's that ability to lead, to mentor, to communicate those complex ideas that really sets you apart.
Spot on.
Wow.
And that brings us to the peak of the mountain,
Okay.
the principal optomechanical engineer.
Okay.
This is where it all comes together.
Okay. I'm picturing a corner office with a view,
Right.
but knowing this field, it's probably a corner of the lab with the most powerful laser.
Maybe.
What does a principal engineer actually do?
Think of them as the architect of optomechanics.
Oh?
They're not just solving problems.
Right.
They're anticipating them.
Wow.
They set the direction for entire projects, collaborate with high-level stakeholders,
Right.
maybe even publish research or speak at conferences.
So not just a Yoda,
Yeah.
but maybe a Steve Jobs of optics.
Okay.
Someone who can see the big picture and inspire others to create it.
Exactly.
Wow.
They have that rare combination of technical brilliance and leadership that can shape the future of the field.
It's kind of mind-blowing to think that someone listening right now, maybe someone who just landed their first junior engineer role,
Right.
could one day be that principal engineer.
Absolutely. Leading the charge in optomechanics.
It's really cool.
That's incredible.
And that's what's so exciting about this field.
Yeah.
RoleCatcher provides the roadmap, the
Great.
tools, but the journey is yours to make.
Wow.
Speaking of journeys,
Okay.
let's switch gears for a second
Right.
and dive into the components and systems that make up this world.
Okay.
We've talked about lasers and telescopes,
Right.
but what are those fundamental building blocks?
I'm ready. Time to break out the metaphorical toolbox.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And just like any good toolbox,
Yeah.
we've got to start with the basics.
Okay, hit me with your best optomechanical wisdom.
Okay.
What's the first tool we're reaching for?
Let's talk mirrors.
Mirrors.
Yeah.
They're not just for checking your reflection in this field.
Okay, I was expecting something a bit more high-tech,
Right.
but I'm intrigued. What's so special about optomechanical mirrors?
They're the unsung heroes of countless optical systems.
Okay.
We're talking about surfaces so precisely engineered that even the tiniest imperfection
Yeah.
can scatter light
Yeah.
and ruin everything.
So not your average bathroom mirror, then?
Definitely not.
Okay.
Think about a telescope trying to capture light from a distant galaxy.
Right.
That light has traveled for millions, even billions of years.
Wow.
And the slightest distortion on the mirror surface
Yeah.
could mean missing the whole show.
Suddenly my bathroom mirror feels very inadequate.
Right.
So you've got these incredibly precise mirrors.
Yeah.
What's next?
And-
How do you even begin to hold something that sensitive
Right.
without messing it up?
That's where optical mounts come in.
Optical mounts. Okay.
They're like these high-tech cradles that hold the mirrors perfectly in place.
Okay.
compensating for things like thermal expansion and vibrations.
Wait, back up a second.
Yep.
Thermal expansion.
Yeah.
Are we talking about mirrors getting bigger or smaller?
Yes.
With temperature changes.
Exactly.
Wow.
Even tiny temperature fluctuations
Right.
can cause materials to expand or contract.
Yeah.
And when you're dealing with the kind of precision needed in optics, even a micrometer can throw everything off.
It's like a constant battle against the elements.
It is.
Heat vibrations.
Right.
Even the tiniest speck of dust could spell disaster. And speaking of disaster,
Okay.
I've got to ask.
Yeah.
We talked about telescopes and lasers.
Right.
But what about the less glamorous side of optomechanics?
Uh-huh.
What about its role in defense applications?
Yes.
Okay.
The not-so-secret world of defense technology.
Right.
It's a field where precision is paramount.
Right.
And optomechanical engineering is the unsung hero behind many critical systems.
Like what?
Okay.
Give me an example.
Think laser rangefinders, missile guidance systems,
Wow.
even reconnaissance equipment.
Right.
They all rely on precise optics and mechanics working in perfect harmony to function properly.
It's amazing to think that the same principles behind capturing stunning images of distant galaxies are also used in such high-stakes applications. It really speaks to the versatility of this field.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the advancements made in one area often trickle down to others,
Yeah.
leading to even more innovation and progress.
It's like a never-ending cycle of discovery and refinement.
It is.
But I have to admit, with all these different components and systems, from mirrors and mounts to lasers and sensors, it's starting to feel like we're building the world's most complex Lego set.
And you wouldn't be far off.
Really?
But instead of relying on those handy instruction manuals, optomechanical engineers rely on a powerful tool called systems engineering.
Okay.
Systems engineering.
Yeah.
It sounds important.
It is.
But I'll be honest, it also sounds a bit vague.
Okay.
Break it down for me. What is it?
And why is it so crucial in this field?
Imagine you're building a house.
Okay.
You wouldn't just start laying bricks and hope for the best, right?
Right.
You need a blueprint, a plan that ensures all the different parts.
Yeah.
The foundation, the walls, the roof.
Right.
Fit together seamlessly.
All right, so systems engineering is like the blueprint.
Yes.
For complex optomechanical systems.
Precisely.
Okay.
It's about taking a holistic view, breaking down a project into smaller, more manageable subsystems.
Okay.
And then ensuring those subsystems work together flawlessly.
Right.
To achieve the desired outcome.
So it's not just about knowing how to design a mirror.
Right.
Or assemble a laser.
Yeah.
It's about understanding how all those pieces fit together.
Yes.
To create a functional and reliable system.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's about seeing the forest for the trees, as they say.
And I'm guessing that requires a unique set of skills.
Yeah.
Not just technical knowledge, but also communication.
Absolutely.
Problem solving.
Yes.
Maybe even a bit of diplomacy to keep all those different parts working together harmoniously.
You're hitting all the right notes.
Okay.
Optomechanical engineering is a team sport, and systems engineering is the playbook that keeps everyone on the same page.
This is all fascinating stuff.
Yeah.
But I have to admit, I'm starting to feel a bit overwhelmed.
Right.
If this is just scratching the surface,
yeah.
How do optomechanical engineers keep up with all the advancements, the new technologies, the constantly evolving landscape of this field?
That's where the never-ending quest for knowledge comes in handy.
Right.
And luckily, RoleCatcher doesn't just leave you hanging.
Okay.
They provide a treasure trove of resources for staying ahead of the curve.
Okay. I'm listening.
All right.
What kind of resources are we talking about?
For starters, they recommend subscribing to industry publications, journals, and online forums where professionals share the latest research and breakthroughs.
So it's like staying up to date on the latest fashion trends.
Okay.
But instead of runway shows, it's laser beam innovations.
Exactly. And don't underestimate the power of networking.
Okay.
RoleCatcher emphasizes attending conferences and workshops as a way to learn from experts, connect with peers, and even rub elbows with potential employers.
It's all starting to click now.
Good.
It's not just about what you know, it's about who you know.
Yeah.
What you're reading.
Yeah.
The conversations you're having.
Absolutely.
It's about being an active participant in the optomechanical community.
Precisely.
Wow.
And with platforms like RoleCatcher, making it easier than ever to connect and stay informed.
Yeah.
The future of this field is looking brighter than ever.
Brighter than a perfectly aligned laser beam, perhaps?
You could say that.
Of course.
But before we get lost in the dazzling possibilities of optomechanics,
Right.
let's shift our focus back to that career path we were discussing.
Right. We left off with the principal optomechanical engineer.
Yes.
The Yoda of optics.
Right.
What's next?
Okay.
Where do we go from the top of the mountain?
Well, the journey doesn't end at the summit.
Okay.
Think of it more like reaching a plateau
Okay.
from which you can survey the entire landscape of optomechanics
Right.
and chart new paths forward.
So less about climbing higher.
Yeah.
And more about exploring uncharted territory.
Exactly.
Blazing new trails for the next generation of Yodas to follow.
But here's the thing.
Okay.
RoleCatcher isn't just for those aspiring to reach the pinnacle of the field.
Right.
They have a whole section dedicated to getting started. Key fundamentals explored, which is incredibly valuable for anyone at any stage who's serious about making optomechanics their career.
Because let's be real.
Yeah.
It's one thing to be inspired by the Yodas,
Right.
the Steve Jobs of optics. But it's another thing entirely to take those first steps right.
You've got that right.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest hurdles,
Okay.
as we've touched on before,
Yeah.
is that classic catch-22.
Right.
You need experience to get a job,
Right.
but you need a job to get experience.
It's the ultimate head scratcher.
It really is.
But surely RoleCatcher,
Yeah.
with all its AI-powered wisdom,
Right.
has a solution up its sleeve.
Well, they definitely do.
Okay.
And it's not some complicated algorithm
Right.
or secret handshake.
Okay.
They keep it refreshingly simple. Focus on hands-on experience.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But how do you even begin to get that experience
Right.
if no one is willing to give you a shot in the first place?
That's where a little proactivity goes a long way.
Okay.
RoleCatcher suggests seeking out internships
Right.
or co-op positions, even if they're unpaid at first.
Wow.
It's about getting your foot in the door,
Right.
proving you can apply what you've learned in a real-world setting.
So less about the paycheck and more about the learning experience.
Exactly.
Okay.
And don't wait until you're about to graduate.
Right.
RoleCatcher encourages students to be proactive,
Okay.
seek out research opportunities, maybe even volunteer in a lab.
Because who wants to be stuck behind a textbook?
Right.
When you could be building lasers in a lab.
Precisely. And while you're at it,
Yeah.
don't underestimate the power of networking,
Right.
joining student organizations, attending industry events.
Yeah.
It's not just about collecting business cards.
Right.
It's about building relationships with people who share your passion for optomechanics.
So it's like they're saying,
Yeah.
yes, technical skills are important,
Uh-huh.
but don't forget to be a human being.
Yeah.
Connect with other humans who get excited about the same things you do.
It's about finding your tribe,
Right.
because those connections can lead to mentorships,
Right.
job opportunities, even lifelong friendships.
It's that reminder that
Yeah.
behind every cool laser or groundbreaking telescope, there's a team of passionate individuals
Yeah.
who made it happen.
That's right.
But let's be real.
Okay.
Even with the best experience
Yeah.
and a network that could rival a Silicon Valley startup,
Right.
the interview process
I know.
can still be daunting.
Absolutely.
Right.
And that's where RoleCatcher really shines.
Okay.
Remember those interview prep tools we talked about earlier?
Yes.
The ones with the AI-powered feedback?
Yeah.
They're not just for show.
Yeah. Refresh my memory.
Okay.
How do these tools work their magic?
They have a massive database of interview questions, categorized by career and skill level.
Okay.
So you're not just getting generic advice.
Right.
You're getting tailored insights into what optomechanical engineering hiring managers
Right.
are actually looking for.
It's like having a secret decoder ring for interview questions.
Exactly.
Wow.
But it goes beyond just the question.
Okay.
You can actually record yourself answering prompts, and their AI will analyze your responses,
Okay.
give you feedback on your content, delivery, and even your body language.
It's like having a virtual interview coach who's not afraid to tell you if you're fidgeting too much
Right.
or your answers are rambling.
Exactly.
Wow.
They're all about tough love,
Yeah.
but the kind that helps you put your best foot forward.
And the best part,
Yeah,
they offer a free version.
they do.
So there's really no excuse not to give it a try.
Exactly.
Okay.
And for those who want to take their job search to the next level, they have a premium subscription with even more advanced features and personalized guidance.
It's like leveling up in the game of optomechanics.
Right.
But instead of collecting points,
Yeah.
You're collecting job offers.
Now you're getting.
So after diving deep into this world,
Yeah.
exploring everything from those mind-bogglingly precise mirrors
Right.
to the AI-powered tools that can help you land your dream job, I have to ask, what is your biggest takeaway?
Honestly, it's the realization that optomechanical engineering is so much more than just lasers and telescopes.
Yeah.
It's a field that's constantly pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Right.
And it's playing an increasingly vital role in shaping the future of technology.
It's like the hidden engine.
It is.
Behind so many innovations,
Yeah.
from medical devices that save lives
Right.
to the communication networks that connect us across continents.
And what I find truly inspiring is that
Yeah.
it's a field driven by passion, by a desire to understand how things work,
Right.
and then build things that work even better.
It's like a never-ending puzzle.
Yes.
But instead of fitting pieces together,
Right.
you're bending light and manipulating matter
Yeah.
at the microscopic level.
Yeah. And that's what I hope our listeners take away from this deep dive.
Yeah.
A sense of wonder, of possibility. Because whether you're just starting out
Right.
or you're a seasoned professional,
Yeah.
there's always something new to discover,
Right.
a new challenge to conquer,
Absolutely.
a new frontier to explore in the world of optomechanical engineering.
And who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe one day
Right.
we'll be featuring your groundbreaking work on the deep dive.
I hope so.
Until then,
Yeah.
keep exploring,
Yep.
keep innovating,
Absolutely.
and keep your lasers focused on the future.